Good morning, everybody. It's Graham once again from Unearthed, and it's another episode, the Friday's episode of Detecting Talk. Now, this is going to be a little bit different because halfway through, I'm going to show a new product that we're starting to stock here at Unearthed, which I think you guys will be interested in looking at. So we'll continue with the first part of Detecting Talk, and then we'll show you the new product, and then we'll be back to finish off if we can do it in that order. So the last couple of episodes we've been doing different themes, and this one is an interesting one, and you guys would have come across this again out in the field quite a few times, is the speed that some detectorists go. So what do you think about speed? Now, I've always been of the nature of nice and slow, keeping the coil low, reap the rewards. However, that isn't where it ends, I don't think. So if, for example, hear me out, your input again would be fantastic as always. But we used to detect with a gentleman that sadly passed away now for many years, and he used to go like the speed of a light. Right, so are you with me? He used to detect at an unbelievable pace, and he used to leave the rest of us in the dust. However, you would think because he went so quick that his finds rate would be a lot less than ours was. How wrong we were. That gentleman in question used to find more desirable coins and artifacts on a regular basis than anyone I've ever met. So you start thinking the philosophy and the science behind speed in detecting. Is it always necessary to go low, slow, to reap the rewards, or is there something in speeding up? And I think there is. I think there is, guys. So, hear me out. For years and years, the gentleman in question zipped around fields at an amazing rate and pulled out the most wonderful coins and artifacts. I've been in his company many times, and I've had the pleasure to see some wonderful coins coming to light that he's found, and artifacts and everything else. He just had the look of the gods, but he did go extremely quick. And I think the science behind that is this. He had a sensitive detector. He was working on arable land mainly, but I think it was just the sheer matter of him covering ground. So, for example, we'd pick a particular area of a field, no known features on the field, we just picked a particular area of that field that we like the look of, and would stick to that quadrant or that quarter or that top end or the bottom end or whatever it would be, and would probably stick with that for a number of hours. Even if we didn't find anything, we stuck in that area because we had a suspicion that something would come up. Sometimes it did and sometimes it didn't. But you would think that moving off into different areas of the field would enhance your chances of finding things if you were blanking where you were. And of course, this gentleman in question, Moore as we call him, he covered that much ground. Eventually he walked over the gear anyway and found it. So there's an argument to say, is it wise just to stick low and slow to a particular area and blitz it out rowing up and down, or is there a science behind covering more ground to get more finds? And I think in some cases there is. Over the last few years, what I've been doing with my detecting in particular, over the last 4 or 5 years, is I've been moving around fields much more to cover more ground and to hit the hot spots. Not necessarily speeding my detecting technique up, but instead of hitting an area for a number of hours, a patch, and just working it out and taking that gamble that something will come up in that very, very small area that you're working for hours and hours, what I've started to do is broaden my horizons out and start walking more and more into the field, searching for the hot spots and covering more ground, and that's the key. If you cover more ground, you're going to walk over the gear. There's no two ways about it, especially on these big fields. I mean, some of the fields we detect on a 60, 70, 80 acres, you could fit a small town in some of them, they're that big. You're never going to find the hot spot straight away. You're never going to guess. Sometimes you do, you're lucky and you hit on a spot straight away. But if you're stuck at the top corner of that particular field, there could be sites and areas of lucrative finds and things, you know, 20 acres, 30 acres, 40 acres down the field, miles away from it. So there is I mean, we do see from time to time, don't we, these guys that zip around on rallies, and we see them zipping around on organised digs, flying across the field with the search coils this high. Them guys are not going to find a great deal, really, are they? But you do see the guys that move a lot quicker than we do. They still have the good technique, they still have the coil to the floor, and they do find stuff. They do find stuff, and it's down to the fact that they've got a good machine and they're covering much more ground. And that's the key. If you can cover ground, you're putting yourself right in the mix. I don't care what anybody says, unless you're on a really good site with the known hotspots where you stick to one area religiously until you find something of note. So what do you guys think? Do you guys like to cover lots of ground? Do you like to cover more and more ground every time you detect to enhance your chances of finding? Or do you stick to one particular area of the field religiously, good or bad? It will be fantastic to get your feedback. And of course, the more films like this that we do here at Unearthed, the more feedback we're getting. So it's really encouraging to see from my perspective that I'm getting so much good positive feedback. Right, folks, so we're talking about speed of detecting, good or bad, ground coverage, stick or twist. Let's have some feedback from you guys. Now, at this point, I'm going to break off. I'm going to show you a new product. Now, this product's been around a while. When I say a while, I've only known of it for a couple of months, so it could have been out a bit longer than that. But we've just started stocking it here at Unearthed, and I think it'll be of interest to you guys in particular that like to look after your finds. So we'll break off now, and we'll have a look at the product, and then we'll come back and we'll have another discussion, and we'll see if we can get some honest feedback from you guys to what you think about this new product. So watch this space. And here we are back again, folks, with the product review of the Garrett Keepers Finds Box. Now, when I first seen these, I thought they were small, a little bit sort of run-of-the-mill stuff that's already out there, but I was quite surprised when I actually looked at these closer. So as you can see, they're a finds box. They're a decent size as well, because you can see my hand, and I've got big hands. This is a decent size finds box, heavy duty plastic. It's got a lock mechanism on the front, so you can lock it and you can unlock it. It's also got this, as you can see on the side, so an attachment, so you can maybe put a lanyard on there. You can have it suspended from finds pouch or your harness or whatever you've got, which is handy, so you're not going to lose it. It's also got keepers right on the front, as you can see, and Garrett metal detectors, a couple of hinges at the back. It's very, very well made. So you look into it, there we go, and you've got this wonderful foam padding with slots in it, so that you can see I've already got coins in mine. So if you find any nice hammered coins or Roman coins and you don't want them rolling around in other compartments, you can just nicely slot them in, like so. And of course we've got a smaller one there. It is leaving a bit of residue because the coins are dirty, as you can see. But what a great, I'm just looking at that's a Scottish one, a Turner or a Barbie. Getting sidetracked. So yeah, there's slot in there, and there is other slots in there that you can make to put your coins in. So I think that's really good and really handy. So you can take them out, you can put other things in here. That's probably be big enough for Roman brooches. You could probably put a little bit of padding in there yourself. There's other little compartments there you can put stuff in. I think it's a really handy little thing. So what do you think about it? I think we're going to be stocking these from now on, because I think there's a bit of a gap in the market. People are using all sorts of different tubs and things, but this has been specially made for detectorists by Garrett, and I think it's a really handy little finds box. Of course, doing it with one hand it's difficult, but we've got there in the end, and there she is, folks. Keep your finds nice and safe. Now, we did do a video a couple of weeks about keeping your finds safe, remember, and it was horrifying for me to see people having their desirable coins and artifacts rolling around in tins. This is probably a really good solution against that problem. So as you can see, you've got the slots for your coins, plenty of room in there for other bits and pieces. Happy days. So these are on the Unearthed website as we speak. We are selling out of these fast, and the reason is it's a relatively new product for all. It's a new product for us, and we've been on our website 24 hours and we've already sold probably a dozen. So it gives you some idea of the popularity. So there is the Keeper's Finds box from Garrett, and I have to say, Garrett, I mean, you know, love them, hate them, they do make some pretty good products. I mean, the wireless headphone kit that I use personally, the MS3 Z-Link system, is fantastic. It works on any machine to make them wireless, and of course they've come out with this other product which is really handy. So there you go, folks, there it is for you to see. Have a peek on the Unearthed website if you will, and we'll go back now to Detecting Talk. Back once again, and I hope you found that interesting, that new product from Garrett. And there she is, the Garrett Finders. Is it Garrett Finders? Sorry, Garrett Keeper's Finds box. Sorry about that, folks. So that is new product worth looking at on the Unearthed website now. So we'll wrap this up pretty quickly today. I think just a final word from me regarding the dig on Sunday. There's a lot of you guys from the Northwest, Loon Valley, holding an open rally up on the borders near Hadrian's Wall. That should be interesting. We're going to be there with the trade stand. We'll be there most of the day, and it'll be good to see some of you guys that are going to be attending. So good luck on that. It's potentially a good area. The guys that are running are fantastic people. John Ferguson and William Hargreaves from the Loon Valley Club have put a lot of time and effort into gaining this permission. So hats off to them. And it'd be good to see you guys. And I think there'll be a bit of Roman stuff coming up. I'm pretty sure there must be. It's such a good area. So good luck if you're on that dig. And the next episode of Detecting Talk will be Tuesday. So look forward to that one. We don't know what the topic's going to be yet, so stay tuned. It could be anything, anything at all. So catch up with you guys. Have a great weekend and see you soon. Bye for now.